The president was supposed to be in Florida campaigning today, but instead touted his administration's recent work to lower Medicare costs and other costs in the Rose Garden as Democrats try to convince voters they're doing enough to fight inflation. I want to bring in White House Principal Deputy Communications Director Kate Berner. Kate, great to see you. With 6 weeks to go now until Election Day, the president today spending some time pointing out that he's going to be saving a good number of Americans a considerable amount of money, about $60 well, either way, Medicare Part B costs are going to be going down for most beneficiaries. How is that going to happen? And it's happening next year. Why can't it happen sooner?
So thanks for having me, Ed. It's great to be here with you. So you are right. The president announced today that Medicare premiums will decrease next year. They'll decrease by $60 a year. So everyone on Medicare Part D, as you mentioned, will pay $60 less a year on their premiums. This is an important way to give families more money back in their pockets. It's one of the only times that premiums have decreased year over year. So the Department of Health and Human Services announced it earlier today. But this is just the latest action that the administration has taken to make health care and prescription drugs more affordable for seniors and families all across the country. The American Rescue Plan and the Inflation Reduction Act lowered millions of families' health care premiums. Again, that's the money they pay every month for their insurance, and it's lowering prescription drug costs for seniors, capping the amount of money they spend out of pocket every year at $2,000. So that's significant breathing room for families that they'll have every month back in their household budgets.
But again, this doesn't kick in until next year, right?
Yeah, but Ed, this is a really important progress for family to get more money back in their pockets. And as the president said today, let's contrast that with Republican and Congress's approach. Their approach is to put Medicare and Social Security on the chopping block. Senator Scott wants to put it on the chopping block every 5 years. Senator Johnson every year. House Republicans doubled down on this last week in their commitment to America. So President Biden is making health care and prescription drugs more affordable for seniors and Americans of all ages. And Republicans in Congress are threatening these programs that, as the president said this afternoon, millions of Americans have already paid into.
I had a feeling you would invoke what Republicans are proposing or perhaps not supporting. The president himself did that today, brandishing a bit of what Rick Scott is proposing, among other things, the idea that every few years there should be a revote to reauthorize certain programs like Medicare. The president suggesting that could mean it would end as we know it. That's typical election year, especially fall of an election year contrast, one party doing one thing, the other doing the other. Our polling, and the polling of others, though, continues to show most Americans would prefer to see Republicans or approve of the way Republicans would run the economy over you guys. Are these contrasts, you think, breaking through and doing what they need to do to convince voters otherwise?
Well, look, Ed, you know I can't get too much into politics here on the North Lawn because of the Hatch Act. I think that there is an important message for the president to keep making, for the president to keep reminding Americans all across the country what we have done. The president has passed legislation that reduce families' health care costs, reduce families' prescription drug costs. Their Medicare premiums, as you said, will go down by $60 next year. We're creating millions of jobs. And to contrast that with the approach of congressional Republicans, which is to overturn, to repeal the Inflation Reduction Act, giving into big pharma, getting rid of the out-of-pocket cap on your prescription drug costs, making energy costs go up even more. So we think this is an important contrast, and I'd point you asked about polling. These proposals, the Inflation Reduction Act, poll extraordinarily well across the spectrum of Americans. People like what the president and congressional Democrats have accomplished. They don't like what congressional Republicans are proposing. So we're going to go out and keep making our case and keep talking about the important work that we've undertaken for the American people.
This was an event today that was supposed to happen in Florida. The trip was postponed for obvious and understandable reasons because of the approaching hurricane. But it's another example of a president who, for a variety of reasons outside of anyone's control, has been unable to get out on the road. How frustrating is that to him, to you guys who try to arrange for these trips to happen? And will we see him somehow get to Florida before Election Day?
Well, look, Ed, our thoughts and prayers are with the people of Florida who are preparing for Hurricane Ian. The president spoke to 3 mayors today in Florida, the mayor of Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Clearwater. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell was down in Miami yesterday helping prepossession resources and making sure that evacuation orders were underway. So our primary focus and our primary concern today was not about a trip needing to get rescheduled, but making sure that families in the Sunshine State are going to be safe and going to get through this storm with the support of the administration and everything we can do to help.
But he has upcoming travel planned, right?
Of course. The president will be out on the road in the next few weeks. I'm not going to preview any of those at this point. But today,
but you're welcome to.
We're not going to give out any new pieces of the schedule just now. But I would, if you're watching this from all across the country, I would expect to see the president visiting you and your community soon.
You mentioned 3 mayors that the president called today. Is he going to call the governor?
Again, I don't have any calls to read out or preview for you. I know the FEMA administrator spoke to Governor DeSantis the end of last week. The president pre-approved the disaster declaration for the state of Florida. We've made clear anything that state and local elected officials in Florida need as they go through this hurricane. We are here and we will provide and work with them to ensure that Floridians are safe through Hurricane Ian.
Can I ask you a real quick one on student loans, the forgiveness of student loans, which I know has been a top priority for the White House. There is now a lawsuit filed in a district court in Indiana that suggests the administration has gone beyond its powers to give forgiveness to those eligible students. I know this is something the White House has anticipated would come. Your reaction to the lawsuit, if there is one, and are you confident, the administration, that it can withstand legal challenge?
Yes. So we are confident that the president's plan can withstand legal challenge. This particular lawsuit that you mentioned, Ed, I think is based on this idea that folks can't opt out of getting student debt forgiveness, which is just totally wrong. This is a baseless claim. If you don't want to have your student debt forgiven, you'll be able to opt out. You won't be forced to have $10,000 of your loans forgiven. So this is a baseless claim. The president took this action so that millions of families who need a little bit extra breathing room, who are struggling to buy a house or start a business, could have their loans forgiven. We think this will be important for those families and individuals who've been struggling with student debt, and we think this will be important for our economy.
I'd like to meet the people who will opt out of this.
Well,
it's interesting.
Turns out in this suit, they say he wants to opt out, so we'll make sure that he can avail himself of that.
All right, we'll see. White House Principal Deputy Communications Director Kate Berner, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.